What's good, people? I hope you are well. What a weekend we have upon us. A brilliant day yesterday of football, a brilliant evening for Arsenal Football Club, if you're, of course, a Gooner. And for those of you that aren't, for those of you that are neutral, for those of you that aren't playing today, sit back, kick back, and enjoy. First of all, a massive happy Mother's Day to my mum, and, of course, to all of you mums out there and those that are no longer with us, of course, all of our thoughts go out to families as well that are either lonely this weekend or that aren't in a position to be celebrating with their loved ones. So please make sure that you reach out to those around you because this day is not easy for everyone. But it's made easier when you're an Arsenal fan and you score in one of the last minutes of the game. We're going to talk about Kai Havertz. We're going to talk about Ben White, who for me is one of the most underrated players in this current Arsenal setup. We're going to talk a little bit about our partnership with Gabriel and Saliba and why it is working so well. We're going to talk a little bit about how we potentially missed a couple of players yesterday, those that are coming back, those that are on the bench, those that are injured but not far away, and what the future holds for Arsenal for this massive march, as I've been calling it, which, to be fair, is mad to only have 2 games of Porto and Man City until March is over. But wow, 2 of the biggest games that we're ever going to play. Some have said in the last decade. So make sure you do me a favour if you're here nice and early. Big up to Luke Watts, who's in the chat. Big up to all of you that are here listening live. And big up to everybody who's listening on catch-up. Now, do me a favour, hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. If you do want to follow me on socials, then it's at DanArsenal87. But please do like and subscribe to this channel. If you would like one of these behind me, canvas with the cannon on it, all different colours, please make sure that you go and email Russell Hogg in the description. It's literally Russell Hogg Photography at hotmail.com. So make sure you go and ask him. Salmaguna, Dan Potts has sent me, and I need one of these, and he'll make sure he sorts you out. So please make sure that you go and do that. Please make sure that you do go over to the Patreon at Bread and Honey Bets. They've got unbelievable bets on the boxing, the cage fighting, and of course the football and Formula One every weekend, and they do not let you down. The tips are absolutely fantastic. It is well worth getting involved in this Patreon. I cannot stress enough to you, this is not me trying to sell you something. This is how way for you to make easy money. Trust me, their tips are amazing. So make sure you get over there because I've been doing well each weekend. And I want you guys to as well. So make sure you go over to Bread and Honey Bets as well. Link is in the description. Okay, I think we're good. Let's talk football, shall we? Before we get on to an unbelievable weekend of sport, before we get onto a Super Sunday, which is going to have everybody in their seat looking at what happens between Villa versus Spurs and Liverpool versus Man City. Let's talk a little bit about Arsenal last night. It was a game that everybody expected to be comfortable. I don't think there was anybody predicting an Arsenal draw or a loss. Those of you that were, I understand that you have been pessimistic and you have to be realistic in life sometimes, but anybody thinking Arsenal would drop points yesterday, I don't know where it will come from. But it looked like they might, didn't it, at one stage? And I want to start where I don't usually start. I want to start with the fans. I said on my fan cams yesterday, I thought the fans were amazing yesterday. I really did. I thought the fans were amazing for a couple of reasons. The first reason being, they always believed. There was nobody sitting around me at any point that said, that's it, title's gone, we're going to draw this, I can't see us winning. And even though it went through my mind, and I'm sure it went through others, I don't think anybody wanted to say it. 1, because they didn't want to hear it. And 2, because I think there was genuine belief that there was still a goal for Arsenal in that game. And I don't know where it was going to come from, who it was going to be on the end of it. But I actually looked at it and thought, yeah, I'm not going to give up just yet. It's 83 minutes. And I remember looking at 1-1 thinking, that ain't long. It's got to come sooner or later. But the crowd believed. The crowd were really behind what was going on. And I'll come back to that in a minute. And I just felt like there was a togetherness and a belief. And I felt that was felt on the pitch as well. There looks to be a telepathy between fans, players, management, staff, coaching staff. Yeah, I like it at the moment. And that is down to Mikel Arteta. I'm sorry, that is. Whether you love what he's done on and off the pitch, whether you love what he's done and hated bits of what he's done, he has brought the crowd back together. He has brought the crowd back to life. You know, a lot of people said it was, COVID, we just missed football. Nah. Go to football before COVID, sorry, and go to football after COVID. You'll see a huge difference, not because we've missed the game. I think there was a bit of that to it, but I think that novelty is wore off now. Everyone's back to it. You know, I mean, it's been 4 years since COVID started, believe it or not. So now we're in a position where we're enjoying football again. And I think there's a massive atmosphere that has just gone sky high. Big up to Block 5, by the way. I've got to give up The fans there, they've been phenomenal. You know, a lot of them I'm really close to, and they're great people, and they've really lifted the concourse before and after the game, and that is a massive, massive credit to the fans that are getting behind what they're seeing. And that makes a difference because it brings it out to the pitch, it brings it out to the stadium, and the players can feel it. There's no doubt about that. The energy is definitely lifted. And I felt that yesterday. I felt it probably when we needed it most. That was when you could really hear the crowd still sticking by them. A little bit silent at times because a little bit of worry, a little bit, oh, didn't expect this. But then we lifted it again and we kept going. And that's exactly what was felt on the pitch. Let's talk about one player in particular, shall we? My man of the match, Ben White. There's no doubt this kid's back to his best. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this guy is back to his best football. And it seems criminal that he doesn't get picked for the national side, but that's an argument that clearly him and Gareth Southgate have had. And the minute Gareth Southgate does leave England, whether it be after this tournament or latter, Ben White will be back in the England squad without a doubt. He's more fit than the others, such as the likes of Reece James. Trippier and Walker are coming to the end of their kind of careers, so to speak. They're in their late 30s. They're not going to be around forever. It will be Trent Alexander-Arnold and Ben White that's going to be in the England setup because Reece James just can't stay fit. And actually, I believe that if Reece James did stay fit, he'd be an elite right back because he's got everything that's needed. But Ben White defends better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. No, he's not as good as a footballer as him. But in terms of a right back and what I want to see, he's got everything right now. The guy's overlapping. The guy's getting involved in play. He's intercepting. He's brilliant on the ball. And the reason that I believe his game has taken to the next level and gone back to what we saw from last season from Ben White, Mikel Arteta has allowed him to invert now. And without Zinchenko, it wasn't working. We tried Kivior there. We tried Tomiyasu there. We've tried Kieran Tierney there before inverting, and Mikel Arteta wasn't happy with it. And since he's allowed Ben White to invert and we then use Kivior, mate, Ben White has been immense. Absolutely superb. He's got 2 assists now in the last 2 games and a goal against Sheffield United. I think he's been phenomenal. I love everything about his attitude. I love his personality. It doesn't bother me that he come out a few times and said, I don't like football, was it? I don't watch football, or I don't know who Vieira is, all this stuff. That doesn't bother me really anymore. I did sit there and think it's a bit of a weird thing to say when he said it, but he came out and delivered on the pitch. That's all I care about. Doesn't bother me whether your favourite player is Thierry Henry or not. To me, what bothers me is that you give 110% and that you actually do get an understanding of what it means to play for this shirt. And I think he does. I saw him in the tunnel against Sheffield United. It was immense what I saw. Literally bogging out, staring at anyone that comes near him like we're here, we're ready, we're athletes and we're ready to take you on. That's what I want, man. That's what I want. I need that. And that's what we had in the Invincible season. We had that in the Invincible season. We had players that were lined up in the tunnel, and this is elite players, by the way, that have said this. They already won the game in the tunnel. And that, for me, is what we're now trying to get back to. Gabriel, Saliba, Havertz, Kivior, Ben White, Declan Rice. They're absolute units. You don't want to come up against any of them, really. Not in a race, not in a football match, not with muscle. You look at it, you think, do you know what? These guys are actually not just athletes, but they're monsters. They all tower over you at 6'2", 3s, 4s. These are players that Mikel Arteta has brought into the side to give a little bit more physical presence. Because let's be real, Arsenal have been known as a bit soft underbelly. They've been known as the ones that you want to hurt them, you kick them. You kick Cesc Fabregas, Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey, Mustafi, Santi Cazorla, Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil. None of them stood their ground. Quality players, some of them, technically, but none of them could go into a battle and you'd fancy. Yeah, they were all under 6 foot, most of them. So now we don't have that. We have proper monsters in our team, and that's what I'm about. I love that. Absolutely love that. And I look to the team that Arsenal won when we went unbeaten. We had players like Kolo Touré and Sol Campbell, Vieira and Gilberto, Bergkamp and Henry, Lauren. These players were proper physical. Look at when Man City won the league. They had Vincent Kompany, they had Fernandinho, they had Yaya Toure. These players were not small lads. Yeah. So for me, I think that's what we need to install back into the side as a step forward. And that's exactly what we've got right now. So I'm a big fan of what I'm seeing. with some of the personnel that has come in. We haven't always got it right. Let's be real. We've got it wrong a lot of the time with our signings. It ain't been great at times. Yeah, we've had the players like Cedric's, Pablo Maris, Lokongas, Nuntavage, Willian, Marquinhos. It ain't gone great with some of them. But let's be real, the ones that have worked really have worked and really have settled, and it's been great to see, man. And Ben White's one of them. I like the little bit of shithousery. I like the fact that he goes in and he'll give it. I like the fact that he'll stick up for players. I'm a big fan of him, man. Big fan of him. And when he first come to the Arsenal as a centre half, I thought he was all right, but I didn't quite get the hype. And I thought for 50 million it was quite a lot. But now he's moved into the right back position. Yeah, he's a baller, man, and very comfortable on the football as well, which is something that some defenders don't have. Here we go, people. Keep calm and follow Arsenal. So let's talk about the next player. Everyone's mentioning him, Kai Havertz. The reason I want to mention Kai Havertz is for a couple of things. In football, you get things wrong. You get opinions wrong. You talk and think, actually, maybe I weren't right about that. Or what you do is go, I'm going to give it some time, but this guy's really starting to prove people wrong. That's where I'm at. There's some that'll be like, see, told you Havertz is the best player since sliced bread. There's some that go, don't care, can score 20 goals, I ain't convinced still. And there's also some that are actually looking at potential not wanting to be wrong, or is that the right word? Not wanting to be wrong? I don't know. Not wanting to be potentially called a flip flop is what I keep hearing. Don't call me a flip flop. Who cares, man? If you call me a flip flop, it's much worse you can call people. Some people don't want to be called a flip flop because it feels like that's a swear word to them. Oh, you be consistent until you're proved otherwise. It's simple, people. Be consistent. Not quite sure about this guy. Not really doing it for me. I need to see more. I'm starting to see a bit more now. Wow, he's really starting to prove me wrong. Oh my God, I got this one wrong. Wow, what was I not seeing? That's how football should work. Whether it's a player, whether it's a team, whether it's a manager, whether it's a member of the coaching staff, whether it's the decision that's made in football. That's how it should work, right? Like, let's be real. Like, we should not be sitting there going, right, that's it. That's my opinion. And there's nothing I'm doing to change it. Nothing, ever. They can score 50 goals in 50 games. I'll still say it's rubbish. What's going on here? Like, that's not how football works, man. That is not how football works. But unfortunately, there are some that don't want to accept what they're seeing right now as an improvement on Kai Havertz. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is quite simple for me in Kai Havertz. He was bought for £65 million. He was playing in a position I didn't like. He wasn't contributing. He wasn't scoring goals. He wasn't doing much else than winning a couple of headers and flicking it on. And I thought to myself, I don't mind that, but personally, we do need to see more. Then we went through August, September, and October, and I was just like, I'm not seeing improvements. I don't see why this guy's been brought in. It's not an improvement on Granit Xhaka, so why is he playing in that position? His attributes need to be further up the field. Then in November, we started to see him further up the field. He scored goals against Luton. He scored goals against Brentford away. He scored goals against Brighton at home. And around November, December time, a lot of people were starting to think, finally, we might have someone we can bring on from the bench here. I was saying it. Use him as an Olivier Giroud type player. Make sure that he can change the game, cause havoc, cause nuisance for the last 20, 25 minutes. And we'll find ourselves with a good player here. And then since Dubai, everything's changed in most of the system, but he's definitely improved. Or he's relished on the fact that everyone around him has definitely improved and this style has definitely suited him. And you can sort of see why Mikel Arteta is now using some of his attributes, or thought that would be a good signing with some of the attributes we've seen, because he is a big monster up top. He is someone who can hold the ball up. He can flick it on. He can pass the ball very well. His passing is very underrated, actually. He's actually a very good left foot. And there are times that he needs to improve his finishing. He went through again last night. He went through against Liverpool. He's got to improve that. Yeah, there's definitely, it's not like 24 years old, he's done, he's not going to get any better. This guy can get better. You know what I'm saying? So for me, there's definitely an understanding of the improvement of Kai Havertz. And now he's coming up with important goals. He's not just contributing when we're 4-5s up already. He actually come with a really important goal. He scored now against Brighton, against Brentford twice, home and away, and against Luton, which were all really pivotal in contributing to 3 points in these games. And that, for me, has to be improvement. But there are some neutral fans as well that just don't want to hear it. Havertz rubbish. No, I don't want to hear that he's scoring. No, please tell me he's not. Oh my God, he's got to be rubbish. What's going on here? Just accept that he's actually playing a bit better now. He's improving. He scored 4 goals in 4 games. He's got assists in pretty much every single one of them. The guy's doing well. Give him credit, man. What is this hate? I don't get it. Why are you not allowed to say that a player's got better? Why is that? I just never understood it. I've never ever understood why you can't sit there and go, do you know what? That Havertz was doing my head in a few months ago, but my God, he's really turned the corner. Oh, flip flop, get him out, flip flop, flip flop. Well, all right, calm down, bro. You know what I mean? Very, very odd. And there's a lot of people that want to do that. And there's a lot of people that don't want to be called a flip flop or say that you were wrong or say that this. Man, I want to be wrong. Do you know why I want to be wrong? Because that means Arsenal win trophies. If I'm not convinced by something and we get across the line, come on, man. Like, let's be real. Let's just accept that there were a couple of people, neutrals as well. You know what I mean? Tobes, he's texting me yesterday. Love Tobes. Spurs fan. Other than that, really good lad. Really good lad. And one that I think has got good ball knowledge. But he weren't having it yesterday. Oh, why are your fans getting so gassed about Havertz? He's finally doing what you bought him for. Yeah, that's why they are. That's why they're happy, because he's scoring goals and he's contributing to games. Oh, it still doesn't mean he's class and quality, though. I said he's been class in the last few games. Oh, he hasn't been class. I don't know what you're watching. He hasn't been class. Listen, that's your opinion. If you don't think he's been class, that's fine. I don't care. But can't sit there and say to me this guy is still crap, because what we're seeing is he's producing. And some of the names that he's got more goals than, I've seen people hype up, like Sobersley. Oh, what a baller he is this season. Why has he scored more than him then? Like, let's be real. Like, I don't understand why people can't just accept that this player is playing well. Like, let's be real. Let's take another example. Let's take another player that isn't a Arsenal player. Let's take Richarlison. That's a good example. Richarlison, 8 goals in 8 games. Is he world class now? No. Is he better than what he was when he was scoring 1 goal last season? Yes. But no one's losing their minds over that. I don't think the guy's amazing. I wouldn't want him in my side. It doesn't mean that, oh my God, he's been shocking for Spurs because he scored 8 in 8. Oh, that's good. He's proving that he actually can score goals. That's the way to look at it. I'm not now going, oh my God, if someone might call me a flip-flop if I say that Richarlison's playing well. I better not. I better stick by guns. No, he's crap. He can score 12 in 12, but he's still rubbish. What's going on with this world, man? Just look at football with your eye test and go, actually, things are improving. It seems people are against that, man. I'm looking at it on social media. I'm looking at it in WhatsApp groups. He's still crap, though. He's still rubbish, though. All right, then. That's fine. Hopefully, he carries on being crap because he's scoring at the moment. I don't get it. It's just something I do not understand, that, man. You're not allowed to say certain words in football, otherwise you get taken to football prison. Football content creators ever mention the words X, Y, or Z, they get taken to the jail, and the YouTube gets shut down. I just don't understand it. It is so bizarre. I don't understand it. But it's a different world, man. When you get into this world and you put your thoughts above the parapet, trust me, you will get people come for you no matter what you say. Doesn't mean that I won't comment on it, though. That's for sure. Let's talk about Aaron Ramsdale. Probably the only negative of the day yesterday, to be fair. I felt for him, man. I felt for him so bad. If there's something I did not want to happen to Aaron Ramsdale, it would be to him. I didn't want Arsenal Football Club yesterday to come into a situation where we would have an excuse to talk about something negative. And unfortunately for Aaron Ramsdale, it was a bad mistake. There's a lot of people that are saying it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. It was someone else. It was someone else. Nah, it weren't Gabriel. It weren't the defender's fault. Ramsdale's got a lot of time there. He's got options on. He's just got to keep it simple, or he's just got to get rid of it. And when you get a little bit of pressure, big up to Vissa, by the way, because him and Tony tried their hardest and nearly both got a goal. You just got to get rid of it. You just got to get rid of it. And unfortunately, he hasn't got rid of it. And yeah, really, really disappointing. Not only because it wasn't a clean sheet, but actually because of the timing of the goal. And that's what annoyed me more than anything. Against Liverpool at home, it was exactly the same. Against Liverpool at home, it was the same. We made a mistake right on half time. And I remember going into the concourse feeling deflated. And I did the same thing yesterday. Not because I thought we were going to lose the game, just because of the disappointment of the timing of the goal and how we conceded. And I just didn't want it to happen to Aaron Ramsdale. I wanted him to go away with a really good performance, a clean sheet, a win, and one that he can say, do you know what? I've done my all. And I now move on with my best wishes. Unfortunately, mate, it didn't end that way for him. He will be remembered by some as the guy who made 2 world-class saves in the Brentford game. he will be remembered by many as the guy who messed up in the last game against Arsenal, for Arsenal, sorry, against Brentford, and that's a shame. That's a big shame for me because he's a good player, and I do think he'll have a good career. I think he'll go to Newcastle or Chelsea, if I'm honest. Maybe Man United if they want another goalkeeper. But I think they're going to stick with Onana. So my bet would be Newcastle or Chelsea next season. I hope we get good money for him. I think we should be trying to get 35, 40 million for him because he's got the English tax. He's young, he's 24, 25. And he's a player that I really rate. So I think he'll do well when he does go. But yesterday, he proved Arteta right, basically. He proved Mikel Arteta right as to why he's been dropped for Raya, because Raya's better with his feet in that position. And Raya's had a couple of moments, to be fair to him, early in his career as well, but he's looking more confident and comfortable now. Arteta's stubbornness with Havertz and Raya is starting to pay off. So let's hope that continues. Aaron Ramsdale made 2 phenomenal saves. I've got to say, if Ivan Toney puts that in, by the way, that's one of the goals of the season. Absolutely incredible strike. Great technique, because that's coming at him very, very difficult. The way he just controls that. Oh, phenomenal player. Great save by Aaron Ramsdale. But the one that really impressed me was the Nathan Collins header from about 6-7 yards out. It didn't come straight at him to catch or just flick over. He actually had to move a bit. If you watch that again, the ball does not go straight to him. So I personally believe it's going to get to a stage where you look back at that and go, that's one of the saves you remember Aaron Ramsdale for. And there's so many. Over the years, you can remember Aaron Ramsdale for an amazing amount of saves. The best one for me by far was the free kick against James Maddison against Leicester at the King Power Stadium 2 seasons ago. Unbelievable free kick. Looks like it's going top bins, and this guy saves it onto the crossbar. Wonderful. He's made unbelievable saves against Salah at Anfield last season in the 2-2 draw. How he saved that, I don't know. Phenomenal save. He's made brilliant saves against teams that people would forget about. When Jorginho scored that goal against Aston Villa last season, where it comes off the back of Emi Martinez's head, no one remembers the save that Aaron Ramsdale makes that allows us to win that game. Nobody remembers the fact that when we went and won 3-2 in the last minute, Reece Nelson screamer against Bournemouth, that if it was not for Aaron Ramsdale, we would have lost that game. He saved us. So let's be thankful for the things that he did do, because I'm a huge, huge fan of this guy, and I think he's going to be a good goalkeeper moving forward. So I hope he has a good career. I wish him all the best. But that will be the last time we see Aaron Ramsdale in an Arsenal shirt unless David Raya gets an injury. So last game, we won it. He made up for it with the mistakes with his 2 world-class saves. But other than that, Aaron Ramsdale, I wish you well, man. And thank you for the last couple of seasons, because it's been great. And I think David Raya, we now need another goalkeeper, by the way, when Ramsdale goes, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, another time. I've always been against this idea of 2 goalkeepers, but I kind of liked it when it happened because I thought they could fight for their position, but it wasn't dealt with great. Arteta had made his mind up, and the rest is now history. I've always been a believer in bringing in a goalkeeper that is experienced to back up your number one. So, for example, if we was to go and bring in a Kasper Schmeichel, Ben Foster type as a number 2, I've always been all right with that. I think teams used to do it over the years. Mark Schwarzer come to Chelsea. I remember once Brad Friedel was brought in. I remember Alex Meninga was brought in only a few seasons ago against Liverpool. I kind of like the idea of that because you've got an experienced head that's been there and done it if your goalkeeper gets knocked. What I don't like is promoting the youth player who's hardly played a game of football in his life between the sticks, or you go and get someone who's just nowhere near good enough for the Premier League, who's going to back up and just pray that number 1 doesn't get injured. So that's where I'm at. So hopefully we'll do something like that in the summer. So, of course, Kai Havertz, he gets the winner. Bad from Ramsdale, but made up for it. Ben White, man of the match. And then, of course, I've got to speak about the other player who got on the score sheet as well. Turning into my favourite player. Consistent performances, getting on the score sheet. Player of the season, signing of the season, whatever you want to call it. Debate it all you want. One thing I know is he's the signing of the season by far. Declan Rice. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. A brilliant header. Gets himself about. Spoke to Matty on here. If you haven't done that, make sure you go check the fan cam out from me and Matt, Brentford fan. I was really impressed by the players he was picking out as well, because it's always good to get a neutrals fan perspective. And he was picking out Declan Rice, Kai Havertz. He's always thought would be a good signing for Arsenal. So make sure you go check that out, people. Video before this from yesterday outside the Emirates. But listen, Declan Rice, Just everything about this guy, man. I love him. I love everything about him. On the pitch, off the pitch, on the ball, in the tackle, his interception, his presence, the fact he drives forward now in this kind of number 8 role. Love it. Love it. I know he can play 6. I don't really want to see him there again because I'm enjoying it so much watching him as an 8. And I must say, Party coming on yesterday, give the ball away again, by the way, just kick the ball out first touch. He's so rusty. He needs game time. But we still haven't seen Party, Rice, Odegaard enough. We haven't seen it all this season. Can we end the season with Party, Rice and Odegaard? Because I tell you what, if Party, Rice and Odegaard are at their best, we will have an unbelievable midfield that will compete with the Man City midfield because their trio is the best for me. Yeah. Rodri, Foden and KDB, or Rodri, Bernardo and KDB and Foden wide. That for me is the best in the league. But Arsenal's is the second best for me. It's better than Liverpool's. It's better than Spurs. It's better than Villa's. It's better than United's, Chelsea's. The list goes on. For me, Arsenal have an unbelievable trio that can compete with Man City's in terms of numbers and analytics and stats, etc. So I want to see that, man. I want to see that so badly. And we did see it in the Community Shield. We saw it literally for a glimpse against Sheffield United, and then the subs come off. We saw it yesterday with Rice and Partey, and then he made subs again. So for me, it's definitely something Arteta wants, but Partey's got to be fit for this to work. And at the moment, Jorginho's the guy. And he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job. So fair play, man, because that is something that I'm more than happy to see work. Thomas Partey, we know how good he is. We know how consistent he can be. So long may it continue. Arsenal have done their job. Arsenal can relax, and we'll finish on what's going to be a brilliant Super Sunday. But before we go into that, we need to look at who's available on Tuesday, because I felt we missed Martinelli yesterday. I liked Trossard a lot, and I thought he did well, and I thought he looked sharp, and he looked good. But when he went through from a brilliant throw from Ramsdale, which people don't talk about, I just felt like if that was Martinelli, it would have been electric pace, and it would have been in. And I think with Trossard, he's not slow by any means, but he's just not got that electricity. He's not got the kind of, when you look at Martinelli and you go, whoa, like everyone does straight away. That's where I'm at with him, man. And I felt that he could have done, we could have done that yesterday. We missed him. I was told, and I saw on Twitter, like you probably all have, by Tom Canton, that he was seen on crutches, which is not good because Arteta said it was a cut to his foot. Now, it might be that he's on crutches so that just heals. It might be that. We see the crazy things happen these days where actually, that looks like he's broke his leg, when actually he's just resting it, not to put any weight on it so that he can actually heal. Sometimes that happens. But it doesn't sound good, does it? Let's be real. It doesn't sound good. I'll be amazed if he starts, put it that way. I'll be amazed if he starts. And that begs the question, who plays on that left-hand side? Do we stick with what we did last night and play Trossard, or do we play Jesus out there? We've got some options now. I think Havertz is going to remain in the 9. Saka's definitely going to play on the right. I think it's going to be Jorginho, Rice and Odegaard. So is it Jesus or Trossard that plays on the left? I don't know why, but Jesus in these Champions League games has been the guy. So maybe he'll go with him. I expect the back 5 will be the same, other than Raya will come back in goal. But it's going to be interesting, that left-hand side, that left wing option. Who is it going to be? It might be Martinelli. He might be fit, but I doubt he will be. So I think it's going to be Trossard or Jesus that plays out there. Reece Nelson got a nod last night. Do you know what actually did well when he come on? I like Reece Nelson. There's something about him I like. I don't think he's going to be good enough for Arsenal, but I think he could have a really good Premier League career somewhere. I really do. I think he's got that passion, desire, drive, nothing to lose attitude when he comes on at the moment. I'm really liking it. So, yeah. But he, along with Smith Rowe, again, a player didn't get another game. They both need to leave with Eddie and Nketiah in the summer, in my opinion, and actually go and get some first-team football, because they're not going to be able to stay at Arsenal the way that things are going, in my opinion. So a lot of people are saying Jesus on the left. A lot of people are saying Zinchenko to start. Not for me. I think the way things are going, Kivior deserves his space. Yesterday didn't have the best of games. People were saying he was great. He was poor yesterday, sorry. That he was giving the ball away, blah, blah, blah. I get that. It wasn't outstanding, but I thought he was good. We need to beat Porto, though. So Zinchenko might not be a bad option if we are going to go down that route. Because Zinchenko is better on the ball. But that won't allow Ben White to be inverting like he has been. So I could see why people might just say keep it the same, because Ben White's been an electric. Absolutely electric. And I don't think Zinchenko deserves to get back in this side, man. I don't think Zinchenko and Jesus should just waltz in and say to Kivior and Trossard, see you later. I think they've got to fight harder than that, in my opinion. The only thing I could say to back up why they might is because they've got the Champions League experience. So it might make sense to do that. I wouldn't be like, wow, that's ridiculous decision, etc. Because that for me is an opportunity for Zinchenko and Jesus to prove that the um, they've got the minerals, so to speak. So let's see what happens there. Taib has asked, "Hi Dan, has Havertz good form surprised you, bro?" I'm not going to repeat it. Go back. You're obviously joining late, Taib. Big up to yourself, bro. Go back and listen to it, man. I did a big segment on it because yes, he is. He's proving doubters wrong. He's impressing me. He's impressing others. But for some reason, not everybody wants to get on board with it and just accept that he's playing well. Everyone wants to still say, "Oh, it's terrible, though. He's terrible still." Don't get overexcited. I don't think people are. You might get some Arsenal fans that are, but let's just enjoy his performance at the moment, man. Let's see where your heads are at. I'm going to put something in the poll now. Something in the poll? I'm going to put something in the chat, which would be a poll now, which is going to be what do we want in Liverpool City? So Liverpool v Man City predictions. I did this on Twitter as well. Where are we at? Is it Liverpool? Is it a draw? Or is it Man City? And this isn't what you want, guys, because most of us want to have. There we go. Let me start that poll. Most of us want to have a draw, I imagine, right? Most of us want a draw. But predictions, I'm going to go Man City to win this game. And I'm going to tell you why. Liverpool aren't depleted. Don't let people tell you that. They're not. They've got Jota out, Alisson out, and Trent out. Everyone else is back. Szoboszlai's back. Salah's back. Kenyatte apparently is okay. Endo's back. They're not depleted. Don't let people say that. They will try and tell you that because obviously then if they lose, they'll say, oh, we were depleted. They're not depleted. Depleted is when you can hardly put a side out and you've got a bunch of kids playing. Yeah. And people are saying, oh, the kids won't be able to beat Man City. The kids won't play. I'll be stunned. I think the team, if you want me quickly, the team will be Kelleher in goal because Alisson's out. It'll be Gomez because Trent's out. Robertson will play left back. Also, Mikas, depending on how fit Robertson is. It'll be Kenyatte and Van Dijk because apparently Kenyate's okay. Endo, Szoboszlai and McAllister will be in midfield. And then it'll be a front three of Salah, Nunez, and Gakpo. Or Salah's, Nunez, and Diaz, actually. That's probably what it'll be. So, that's not a depleted side. You're just missing Jota, Alisson, and Trent. So don't let people say this is a depleted side. I've tried to wind Del B up earlier on Twitter saying, oh, all them injuries Liverpool got, this will be easy for City because I'm just trying to get in their heads. But let's be real, Liverpool ain't depleted. This will be a tight game. But I do think Man City will win it. I think the battles and the key head-to-head battles, Man City will come out on top. Haaland will cause a nuisance. Foden is on fire right now. Kevin De Bruyne is back and back to his best. Bernardo Silva, very underrated player. Rodri, I think he'll eat that midfield up. I don't see how anyone can go for this not being any chance of a Man City win. And I've seen Liverpool win this game easy. What? This ain't going to be easy. No way. I want a draw, and a lot of people are thinking it'll be a draw. Let's see what the chat is saying already. 71% of you are thinking it'll be a draw. Is that believing or is that hope? But yeah, it's gone up to 74% now. People are saying a draw. 16% now saying Manchester City and 10% saying Liverpool. Yeah, not many people confident of a Liverpool win at Anfield, which is mad to think that. At Man City's 25-year record against Liverpool, they've only won at Anfield twice. That is unbelievable. That is crazy. And that is more why I think Man City will do it today. The probability's got to change soon. And I think it will today. I think Man City will win 2-1. If I had to pick two goal scorers, it would be Haaland and Foden. And I'll go for a Darwin Nunez goal. That's what I'll go for. So let's see what happens. I'll be interested to watch that game. I'm going to sit there with my family, enjoy a roast dinner, watch the football, and just know that Arsenal have done all they can to try and remain at top of the league for as long as possible. Hopefully it's a draw so we stay top. That'll be on goal difference to Liverpool and we'll be a point ahead of Man City. Is that right? Trying to work out the maths now. It's so tight up there. Let's see, man. Let's see what happens. Let's just quickly, before we wrap up, touch on Villa and Spurs. 2-2 is my prediction. 2-2. I think Aston Villa at Villa Park are a very, very hard team to beat. They're a good outfit. Emery's got them balling out. And although they haven't been electric of their last few games, I don't think that will get to them. They know this is huge for top for Champions League spots with Spurs. Spurs are a good side. Let's be real. Spurs' first 11 is actually very good. They're weak in about 3 areas, I would say, but other than that, they're actually really strong. I rate Vicario. Their backline's good. Adoghi and Porro are really, really good this season. Van de Ven and Romero have been fantastic as a partnership. Bissouma, Maddison, and Bentancur, that's a really good midfield. But other than Son, I'm not sure about Kulusevski or Brennan Johnson. I'm not sure about Richarlison or Timo Werner, but they're the 2 options or positions that they need to strengthen in the summer. And I will say, man, yes, I'm an Arsenal fan. I cannot stand Tottenham Hotspur. But Ange Postecoglou, man, I just like him. I just like everything he says. I don't know if you saw his press conference a couple of days ago where he basically was asked about how important Champions League qualification is. And he just played it down and said, not really. I'm here to win things. I'm not here to qualify for stuff and take part. And I thought, that's a worry. That's not what I want to hear. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not a worry as, oh my God, Tottenham are going to be going win titles. But it's a worry for a player of that, a manager of that ambition for Tottenham. That is the perfect match for me because that's what Tottenham have not done is go and win things. This guy wants to win things. I'm here to build a team that wants to win things. It's really impressed with his press conference, man. So big up to him, but not big up to Tottenham. Let's hope that everything goes wrong for him. Then I look at what Aston Villa are doing with Unai Emery. I'm a big fan of their side. And it was hard, actually. Trying to pick a combined 11 between Aston Villa and Spurs is very difficult, you know. I was trying to do it on the show the other day, and I think this season, Vicario would get in, but Emi Martinez is going to get in overall. Porro and Adoghi get in. I think Moreno's a good left back, but I don't think he's been better than Adoghi. And I would say that Romero and Van de Ven get in. So that's the back 5 already at all Spurs this season. Douglas Luiz walks in. And if I'm honest, Maddison and Bissouma are probably the other 3 that I would look at. But John McGinn's been phenomenal, actually. So I'm probably going to go John McGinn, Douglas Luiz, and Maddison. And then you're going with probably Bailey and Diaby either side of Son. Oh no, Watkins. You've got to put Watkins, haven't you? So maybe Son will go in with Bailey, who has actually been better than Diaby, and then Watkins up top. So Watkins, Son, and Bailey. Yeah, it's crazy. It's very, very hard, man. Very, 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 very hard. Very hard because there's a couple of players there that would definitely be debatable about getting in. But I think Tottenham have got better backline. Villa have got better forwards. I think that's the way. That's the way to look at it. Liverpool City. People have been asking me this. I think this is the easiest combined 11 ever. When everyone's fit, this is Alisson's in goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold is right back. Left back is Andrew Robertson. Van Dijk and Diaz as a pair. This season, I'd probably go Van Dijk and Kenyatte because they've been outstanding. Let's do it this season. Alisson, Trent, and then I think you're probably going to have to go with Nathan Ake. And then as a centre-back pairing, Kenyatte and Van Dijk. In midfield, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, and I can't put Szoboszlai McAllister. It's got to be Foden. And then you're going to go Salah. You're going to go Haaland. And then you're going to go Bernardo, I guess. Yeah, that's what I'd have to do. Or Jota. Jota's been good for Liverpool. So, yeah, you can debate that last position. But I don't like combined 11s because people have different opinions. People try and force people in different positions they don't play in. It's very, very difficult when people do that. But I do it because people ask me and they like it. So I'll do what the viewers like. Let's take a look at the poll. 70% of you are saying you think it'll be a draw today. 21% think Man City will win. And only 8% of you now think that Liverpool will win. That is going to be tough. What a game it's going to be. I can't wait for it. I'm really looking forward to it. But there's one thing that disappoints me today. It's the fact that there's 430 of you in chat and there's not even 100 likes. That is really poor. You guys are moving like Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, terribly. Let's get the likes up. Please, people. I really do need you to do me a favor and hit the likes. There we go. We've hit 100 likes now. Let's make sure we keep going. All you got to do is click like. Then you got to hit subscribe. And then we get towards 17K. And I'm happy. Let's make sure we try and hit 300 likes, please, people, on the video. Make sure whoever's number 300, big up to you. Please do me a favor also before we get out of here. Guna TV, big up to yourself, man. Says, Dan, where did you get that Arsenal picture behind you? It looks fire. Thoughts on Havertz? 9 goals in the Premier League, 12 in competitions, providing the doubters wrong. Absolutely proving the doubters wrong. And I've done a segment on that earlier in the video. If you would like one of these, which a lot of you are asking me about, these are magnificent. It is a canvas of, course, the Cannon with Highbury behind it. You can do other effects behind it as well, in different colours. If you want to run in red and white, if you want one in yellow and blue, obviously yellow and blue goes for me in this room, but a lot of people are getting the red and white one as well. Make sure you click on the email address in the description. Go to the description of this video. It's russellhogphotography@hotmail.com. Tell him Dan Potts sent me. I'm a gooner. He knows me really well, and he'll sort you one out. If you want one of these hung on your wall, please make sure you go over to him. It's in the description. So make sure that you do me a favor and get one, because everyone's asking about these, and literally people are sending me all sorts of pictures of them hanging on their wall. There's loads of people that are interested in this. It's absolute fire. So make sure that you do get one of them. And bread and honey bets in the description. Don't forget, people, bread and honey bets in the description to the Patreon. All you got to do is copy that link, and you will be able to go and look at the bets that they have for this weekend's games, and they do not let you down. It is well worth it. This is not me selling. This is me telling. There's a difference. I'm not trying to sell you something. This is what you need to do. If you're like a bet, and if you are into betting, obviously gamble responsibly. But if you do click on bread and honey bets on the Patreon link, you'll get all of their tips, and they do not let you down. Trust me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be telling you it. So make sure you go over there as well. People, it has been amazing. Thank you so much for this. We've had nearly 500 people of you watching live. Please make sure that you hit the like button. There's one super chat to get us out of here from Jacob that says, Liverpool oil win, do they? Liverpool will win. Do they drop? Well, in the chat, a lot of people felt that Liverpool would drop points today. Only 8% of you think that Liverpool will win the game. Majority of you think it will be a draw. And only 20% of you think that Manchester City will win. Big up my guy, Elliot. Says, big up, Dan. Great show indeed. We are top of the league. Let's hope we stay there. Let's hope that we do as well. And to see everyone out, big up to James. Happy Mother's Day, Mrs. Potts. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. And of course, the families that can't celebrate with their lost ones. Please make sure you reach out to those people that are sharing a weekend with their family after losing loved ones. So please make sure you reach out to people and be kind. And we'll see you next time. Up the Arsenal. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.